Canada is probably the most fun because what a fiasco. So Canada, we saw Archie in Canada on video when she was like walking through the woods and she had him in a carrier and he was like, you know, over to the side. A lot of people really criticized that. A lot of people said that it was like totally fake because of how he was leaning. I'm not sure. Maybe that's true. I had my baby quite a long time ago, but I do know when my baby slept, she slept like a bump on a log. And I probably could have had her in those types of positions sometimes, and she would have been like leaning on my arm or something, you know? So I'm not totally sure about that. Now, it did kind of seem a little weird. Like, why wouldn't you like adjust yourself properly? I don't know. I think it's so strange, especially if she wants to convince us she has a real baby and that Archie is like real and everything they say. I don't know why she would take the risk and like not set, if she was going to set up the whole thing, like it seems like she just sets up all this stuff. Why would she do it so messily? You know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't she really take care of like all the details, right? So like first he was slouching, then you see that there's like a string around his hand. I think Danger Zone, I want to say, Taz talks about this too, maybe Murky Meg, I'm not sure. Probably all the channels, Celt News, everybody, talk about that in more detail. So I'm just just giving like my kind of takeaways and my perspective on it. So go to those channels for more info, and like more details. But yeah, I mean, people pointed out like that he looked like he didn't have a diaper on, etc. The thing that was the most marked to me, I watched the video in slow motion and I watched it several times. It's very short. It's like a few seconds each, right? Each time I watched it. And I had a really hard time like kind of distinguishing, because I know when babies are asleep, they're like, you know, they're so kind of floppy. But what I noticed was that his leg actually like bounced against her leg. That was the only thing that like fully seemed convincing to me, because you couldn't see his face. How convenient. You saw just a tiny bit and a tiny bit in one of the angles, but you didn't see like his full face. It was just like kind of the top, like it usually is. Super sketch. But like, yeah, so saw just a bit of his face, not enough to determine. The leaning thing, I guess that could be possible without even hurting the baby. It was just like a little weird. I don't know, guys. I know a lot of people had a problem with that, and I'm just not sure. I think it's just been too long since I had a baby. But it did seem a little bit weird. So nothing really convinced me that he was fake necessarily, even though I would have suspected it from the beginning, except his leg bouncing. You have to look really closely for it. Definitely put it on slow-mo. and yeah. So those are all the Archie sightings. We really haven't actually seen him except in South Africa. All the other three were really unclear and just could have easily been faked. Whether or not you believe they were faked, they could have easily been faked. The only one that would have been really hard to fake was the South Africa one, which they easily could have borrowed a baby. Or, you know, maybe Archie is real and they use a surrogate. I just think as more time goes on, like, what are they hiding? Why are they hiding him? And I'm sorry, for somebody who just loves the limelight and loves the spotlight so much, like Meghan, I just don't really see them hiding him if he was real. Okay, so I know some of you are thinking, well, what about the photos? I'm not going to get into that really deeply, just because so many other people have done it, talked about like different photoshopping stuff. Like the New Year's Eve one, where it looks like Meghan's baby picture has been like photoshopped onto Archie's face. I swear, if you look closely at that, if you compare like that baby picture of her that's been out forever, and you compare it to the one of Archie's, it looks like the same person, like a few months apart. I think it is Celt News and a few other ones that do a video on that, so go them out for more details on that. I'm not going to get into it. I actually don't have time because I've been talking for too long. So I think a lot of people have been speculating, kind of doubtful, like, why would they do that, you know? So of course with the surrogate, it's pretty obvious, I think, with that theory. I know she's an actress. She is a narcissist. She is not going to want to ruin her body. To be honest, I wouldn't blame her. So, you know, for the simple physical reason, she's not going to want to go through a pregnancy, right? Now, I know people point out that it did seem like she gained weight, and when she, you know, when they presented Archie, you know, it seemed like she definitely had that, like, I just had a baby body, but, I don't know. I think she could have done a lot to have that weight put on. I think she could have used padding here. She could have purposely gained weight just to, you know, just to look like she gave birth or whatever. I just don't believe she gave birth. There's just too much. There's just too much out there that shows that, like, that, you know, the baby bump, like, changed size. It popped in, it popped out, it fell down, it got removed, etc. So anyway, I definitely don't believe she was pregnant, so I'm not sure about that extra fat and stuff. And I'm not making fun or criticizing if it is real, but yeah. So as far as the surrogate, that's easy. I think that they probably felt like, you know, they wouldn't want the public criticism if they did a surrogate. They wouldn't want the public questioning, you know, the DNA thing, especially, you know, for one thing, even if they use their own DNA, which I guess is possible, they probably wouldn't want people to be questioning that, like questioning whether the baby should get a title. Remember, I don't think they knew ahead of time that the Queen wasn't really going to give Archie a title, because Master is not a title. Every little boy is Master, technically, by the way. So didn't get a title. So maybe they didn't know that, and they wanted him to get a title, and so, you know, they had to keep that all a secret. There are a lot of other things. If it's not their DNA, they can't get any benefits or any, you know, like money for him or any inheritance or any title for him if it's not their DNA. So once again, they wouldn't want the public questioning that. Another thing is it could have been revenge. Harry could have wanted to get revenge, and this could be one of his ways of doing it. Remember, he has a lot of built up anger, a lot of resentment. He could very well be wanting to get his family back, wanting to get the press back, wanting to get the public back, etc. There are a lot of people he could want to have vengeance on. And I don't fully blame him. Those things, you know, surrounding what happened to his mom, they probably weren't handled in the proper way. I'm sure he has a lot of hurt and pain, and, you know, he is probably wanted to get some people back for a very long time. You know, he could have some really deep hurt. Remember also, even before, you know, Diana passed away, you have his dad who cheated on his mom, and etc. Okay, so the motives are all there. We don't even know a lot of the stuff that happened behind the scenes, how people handled it. So I think, you know, the idea of him, you know, wanting to kind of get back at his family in certain ways is very possible. They also could have been building up a narrative of, you know, this victim narrative that they've been very clearly building now. So that's very possible. I also think, for titles, like I said, with the whole DNA thing and whatever. Also, of course, for more fame and more sympathy, because, you know, they love both. At least Meghan does. I don't think Harry necessarily does. I think Harry might be kind of sick of fame. He seems like the one who's really been wanting privacy. And not Meghan. Or maybe they've just been wanting to hide. Oh, just a little detail here. A lot of stuff was coming out just after Mexit that was very scandalous, and one of them was the whole foundation that was created by Meghan's person. I forgot who it was. Somebody that worked for her. That the Archie Foundation, Archa Foundation, it's like with just an E, not an IE or something, was created like right after she got pregnant. So that's totally weird. There's a lot more weird stuff, but that was just one thing that, like, you know, so they like knew the gender, I guess, and they already named the baby. And then, of course, you have the baby shower thing, which it was like for a girl. And I wonder if the surrogate one, if the surrogate theory is the right one and they do have a baby, I wonder if it could have to do with the whole gender thing, because, and maybe they got that idea after the baby shower, because the baby shower looked like it was going to be a girl. However, it could have also just been something to build up to being a boy and to get more attention. So I have no idea. But could it have been maybe, like, oh, it's a girl, among her, little friends, and then, it turns out to be a boy, but then later it's like a transgender thing to get, well, anyway. So the last reason why that I'm going to speculate about is that if this was a political project, like I suspect it was / is, that would have been a temporary thing, or that would be a temporary thing. And so there's no way they would want a permanent child to, to have to deal with after this project is over. And of course, another reason, which I think wouldn't have been a principal or sole reason, but I think could have contributed to it, to why they did this whole thing, could have been blackmail. So especially if the British royal family was in on the whole thing, they can't say anything, if they found out and just like kept it hush hush or whatever, there are just so many avenues of blackmail that could be possible. But elites thrive on blackmail. Our oligarchs and politicians and huge like CEOs and stuff like that, a lot of them, especially going into politics and stuff, they really thrive on blackmail. So I think that's definitely true. Everybody's got secrets, and they especially have some big secrets. I also think that if their marriage is real and Harry really is, in love with her, and all of that element, all of that entire aspect is true, Meghan can manipulate Harry like so much more with a baby. Yeah, I definitely think that, that could be another huge motivation for Meghan having a baby right away, to seal the deal, lock in the deal. So let me know what you guys think. I know I've branched out into a lot of different ideas because there are, of course, many, many, many possibilities. I want to know what your thoughts are. As they say, truth is stranger than fiction sometimes. So I'm kind of going between the surrogate thing and the Archie is fake thing. But again, guys, just so you know, I'm just having fun. I'm speculating. I think a lot of people a lot of us are attracted to this story because it's just so fun. It's just so full of mystery, and you just never know what these two people are gonna do next, or 3 people. So what about you? Do you think official Archie story? Do you think secret surrogate story? Or do you think the Farchie / Archofficial story, where Archie is just a series of dolls and photoshopped photos? Let me know in the comments, guys. I would love to hear from you, and I will try to have another video up in less time. But please, again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever, if you liked it, and I would love to interact with you down in the comments, and I will try to take more time now to do that. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.